All right. Well, thanks everybody for joining. My name is Jack. I'll be kind of running you through the demo here today, covering FastScout, how it interacts with Synergy. Yeah, appreciate you guys taking time out of your day to hear a little bit more about our product. With that being said, before I even continue any further here, just want to make sure you guys are aware of that Q&A and chat feature. So if you do have any questions throughout the demo, should take roughly half hour. Feel free to ask. Feel free to use those throughout the demo. If you want to save your questions till the end, I'll have some time for that as well. Maybe 5 minutes or so at the end to go back over anything. But if I do, breeze through anything, or if you have any questions, yeah, please ask. Here for you guys. So yeah, appreciate it. That being said, here's kind of what we'll be going over today. Kind of brief overview, of the product. A lot of that will focus on, the actual creation and using the actual scouting report, our scout builder software to actually create your scouts, show you a lot of the features in there, how you can utilize those, customize that information to however you like it, and a lot of other cool stuff. So that being said, we'll go ahead and get rolling. All right. So I believe, yeah, we have probably some people from both NAIA as well as USports. So just want to let you guys know that the product itself is going to be the same for whatever league you're in. So I am going to be using an NAIA demo account here today, mainly because they actually had some data, some stats from last year, as opposed to USports. I don't believe had any. So just the reason for that, but again, it's all going to look the same. Data is obviously going to reflect, the NAIA League, NAIA women's account right now. So I just have, an Allen, South Carolina demo account here that I'll use today. Whenever you log in, this is kind of what you'll see. This will be your landing page. So you have our dashboard page here. Just give you a brief overview of your team, of your stats, some FastScout factors, kind of 4 factors plus couple others here. You'll see your points per period, pace, and then a cumulative box score down there at the bottom for the entire season. Right now, you may see that this is the 1920 season. Obviously, I can flip back to previous seasons and so forth. You'll notice flip to last year, they actually only had 1 game. So just wanted to show you some more relevant information there. But you can see kind of all these breakdowns here. You can sort by different splits, wins, losses, and so forth. So you can, switch in between those different stats there. All of this information you can put right into a scouting report. So this is really just a brief overview page, landing page, but all this data here, whether you want to or not, can put that into a scouting report. You also notice we have some of these kind of numbers to the right of each stat. So those are going to be the rankings relative to, you can see in the top right here, NAIA. So you can see kind of gray is, middle of the pack, green above average, red below average there. That being said, we'll hop over to the schedule tab here. Again, I'm just going to, stick with the 1920 for now. I'll flip over to the latest season just a bit. But on the schedule tab, obviously you can sort again by those different splits, all games, conference, last 5, just if you want to, see the differentiators there. Few other things you can do from this page, which are pretty cool. So you can, first things first, click into any of these other team pages. So I'll click into, Tennessee Wesleyan here, and I can actually see a brief overview of their stats, how they stack up, their roster, their cumulative box score, and so forth. I can even check, their schedule, their roster, on their own page, see who they play and so forth there. So just an easy thing to do from your schedule tab. A couple other things, you can actually click into any of these team box scores, or any of these game box scores, excuse me, and see kind of some more, detailed stats on that game. So you can see we have, individual box score for each team there. You also notice we have some kind of, heat signatures, I like to refer to them as, with the orange versus blue. So these are how these players stacked up relative to their season averages. So you can see Aquila Smith here, she, just very easily, I see that kind of darker blue. So if I scroll over, she actually only averaged 2 turnovers on the season. This game, she had 5, so, a lot worse than her average. Just kind of showing that dark blue there. You notice on the flip side, Miss Sullivan here, she averaged only 4 points on the year per game. This game, she actually scored 15, so well above that, going to show in that dark orange. So just a quick look, you can see how those players stacked up relative to their season averages there. And then finally, something new we added last year, which I think is just an awesome feature for you guys. We give you the direct synergy link to these videos. So if I wanted to open up this Kentucky Christian game, I can just hit that kind of synergy icon there. It'll open up my synergy web editor, assuming that you're logged in. And you can see the individual clips, for that game. So you can see those all here at the bottom. These are going to be my edits already in my account. Don't need to play that for you. These are going to be the edits already in my account. You guys, obviously, when you're logged into your own, will see your own edits. But then you can go ahead and sort through the different clips here at the bottom. So you can see the different results. You can sort by those, different player. And again, this is really just a synergy feature, but we give you those direct links, make it as easy as possible for you. Cool. Just heading back there again, sort by the different splits. I can roll over into the roster. I'll show you a more relevant page because, this is a couple years ago. So I'm going to show you, if I flip over here, you can see some rosters, some rosters for some other opponents. And so from here, I can sort by, we have, Hope International. Again, I can see their schedule, their roster with all those photos in here, a brief overview of the stats, for each player. And I can actually even click into, any of these player pages and see just a little bit more detail on those players. So how they play and kind of their, overall splits, different splits, conference games, so forth. And then a game log here. I know they only played, about 7 games or so last year, which is why it's so short. But same thing from this page. I can click into the, opponent pages, a box score, and see that synergy link as well. All right. And obviously, the big thing, like I said, before I get into even the scouts tab here, you have a list of opponents. So, whether they're on our schedule or not. So if I go back here, whether they were on our schedule, we were playing a game versus them or not, I can check pretty much any team in the country. So if I wanted to just see, hey, how is, for instance, Westmont here, how are they playing this year? How do they stack up relative to the rest of NAIA? I can just quickly look at their stats, their information, and so forth. So you do have that access to anybody in the country as well. If I flip over here real quick, you can see USports as well. But for our purposes here, I'm going to go ahead and create a new scouting report. You'll notice you have an opponent scout section, self scouts. So if you want to create any scouts, break down your own, team, see how you played maybe from one year to the next, you have that ability as well. You can work off scouts offline. So maybe you're on a bus or a plane traveling. You have that ability to, work while you don't have internet access. You can create templates to build your scouts off of. And then you also have just a brief archived kind of like a storage locker, maybe for older scouts or scouts you're no longer using. But I'm going to go ahead and create a brand new scout for us just so you can see what that looks like. To do that, just new opponent scout here in the top. I'm going to do this for Vanguard. You can see that kind of autofills in there, but I can, change the title if I like very easily. I'm going to actually use last season because obviously their stats, data, rosters, and everything. Just so I think it'll be a little more cleaner for you guys to look at. And then just one thing for the game date. So that's where we base our stats off of. So if you had a game, on the 25th, you by accident, let's say, set it to November 11th instead. And in that 2-week span, played about, 2-3 games. Those 2-3 games of stats are not going to show. So if you do have an account with us already, or if you're, interested, just one thing, I like to point out because it is always very important. And we get that question a lot. But cool. Set my game date, set who I'm prepared by, which is just, I'm the only coach on the account here. I can either start from scratch, or in our case, I'm going to use a save template, and I already have one built out here. So all I got to do is create that report, and you'll see it'll generate based on those stats and rosters from Vanguard. So just briefly, I'll go through and show you what this looks like, but through a quick scroll, you can see kind of, how that information populates. So before we even get started, you have all these kind of design options for different, looks. I can add in, the team record in there is like, I can do my own logo, sort both logos. You'll see this kind of split that color there at the top. I can change team colors. and for the actual tiles as well. So just a few other, easy options there. You guys can choose, obviously, when you have some time, and edit your scout to however you want that to look. But going through here, a few options. Again, this is just a custom template that I created. You guys can customize this however you like. So if I wanted even, offensive keys and defensive keys at the top, I can sort that there very easily using, the black ribbons. I can click, drag, and drop, reorganize tiles. I can also, with this little caret arrow in the bottom right, you'll see, reshape, resize. And you'll see that how that kind of, very user-friendly, I'd say, how that information, changes. I can easily, type into these. If I'd like here, you can, change any colors, do any bullet points if you like. Like I said, very user-friendly and easy to customize from that perspective. Now we do have this team box score here. One thing, so let's say, this is a full season box score. I know it's for the, last season, they only had 10 games due to COVID. So it's only 10 games of stats. If I wanted to see maybe just last 5, it's very easy to do that. You have all these tile options on the left, but if anything's already in your report, you can easily hit the 3 dots here, go to settings, and that'll give me this nice, menu here. So I could change, even if I want to see my home team, my own stats, you can put in your own box score if you like. For our case here, just going to keep it as, the opponent, which would be Vanguard. I'm going to sort to, last 5 instead. You'll see just quickly flips over, just selects the last 5 games. I could even select, a custom split if I'd like as well. For here, just going to change the last 5. You also notice we have a few other options here. I actually want to see steals and blocks, so I'll add those in. If you want a custom stats, or maybe you track points in the paint, which maybe we don't have in our system, or maybe something else, you can actually type that in manually. For here, I have steals and blocks in. I actually like to see points at the front, so I'm going to click, drag, and drop that very easily. And by this left click, I can change between totals and averages. So kind of the dark bold here that you see with the shot attempts or field goals, threes, and free throws. Those are going to show totals as opposed to averages per game. I can add in other players or remove players. Maybe, Michaela here is not going to be playing. I'm just going to remove her. And from there, I can quickly see a sample. Okay, that looks great to me. I'm going to go ahead and save that tile. So see, just very easily updates on the fly for you. I have steals and blocks there at the end. I have points at the beginning. I only have last 5 games. So very easy to adjust that however you like. You can save that in your template for all games and then adjust it after, or you can create the template with just last 5 from the start there. Excuse me. Cool. Moving on, we have our FastScout factors in recent games, which FastScout factors, if you remember, we saw on that dashboard page. So like I said, everything that you saw there, you can put right into a scouting report. Scrolling down, we have some leaders tiles. So top scorers, top free throw shooters, or 3-point shooters, excuse me. Best and worst free throw shooters, maybe, a who to foul section at the end of the game. And, you can always change these titles. So I could just change that to who to foul. Very easy just to do that if that's what you want it to say. You have those abilities there. Top rebounders, top defenders with steals and blocks. That team pace chart. So how, Vanguard stacks up relative to the conference, relative to the entire NAIA, to us, and maybe our conference as well. And then finally, I know this is going to be, very important for you guys, is going to be personnel. So obviously we have, a lot of the photos for Vanguard in here. You can see, nearly every player except for maybe, Jayla Butler here. So it's very easy to customize this. A few things you can do, and just so you know, we generate these based on minutes played. So you can see 37, 37, 36, and so forth. Somebody asked if team pace is number of possessions. I believe it is score divided by 100, if I recall. It's actually a great question, and really quick, I can see. I go to my stats glossary, so we have that for you as well. I can search pace. Yeah, so yeah, just average number of possessions per game. I apologize. Yeah, you can see I just easily went to the top left here, stats glossary, and kind of give you all that information if you're wondering how we calculate it. So Yeah, great question there. Cool. So let me just click back in there and scroll back to that real quick. You see that information will just load back up. Here, a few things I can do. Like I said, we generate based on minutes played. Obviously, you may want to switch that based on, points per game, or maybe you just want to put the 5 starters first. So a couple things you can do are easily take that black ribbon, click drag and drop to maybe put Lauren at the top. But easy way to do that on the fly is just hit the 3 dots here, reorder player tiles, and you can quickly drag, the players that you want to the order that you like them. Just click save there, and those will reorder from that way. I can also, adjust if you guys wanted maybe a, a small place to add in. If you like an emoji I've seen teams put in, I can quickly just, add an image tile, another text tile, or a custom table here in the top left, excuse me. And so I add that image in there, and I'm going to drag that into place. So now maybe if you put like a, a fire symbol, fire emoji, you can add that in for each player, that way. And to apply that layout to each player, just again, 3 dots you'll find is very useful workflow. Apply player layout, and I'll change that there, adding in that emoji for each player. Cool. From here, one thing, that obviously is going to be very important to you guys is the actual synergy integration. So you'll notice pretty much every tile has this little play button, play icon in the top left with a number symbol. That number is the amount of videos attached to that tile. For our case here, they're all going to have 0 because I just created the scout. Let's say I wanted to add in, some video for, Ariana here. All I got to do is hit that play button. On the top right, I can add video right from my computer or from Synergy. So I'll add that from Synergy here. You'll see it'll open up my Synergy web editor. May have to log in if you're not already logged in, but I actually did that earlier, so I am. And you can see the full list of my my edits here. So let's see if I can find, I have some just women's basketball clips just to keep that aligned. Obviously, I don't have, and I apologize, film for that actual player, but you can find any clips that you like. You can sort, by all, made twos, for instance, first to fourth quarter, and so forth. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'll add that clip there. So you can say I have one clip that I'm going to add. Maybe I have a different edit that I wanted to, add different film from. I'll just check off another couple of videos, and now you'll see it'll add 3 clips in the top right. I'm going to go ahead and add those, and you'll see it's pretty much an instant addition there. There's no upload, no download time. And that's one of the, the great benefits of our Synergy, partnership and integration that we have. So here I can go and I can watch these videos. I can actually make them full screen. I can download them locally. Don't need to watch those whole things for you there. But just, want you guys to be aware, you can actually add a title and add any notes as well. So if you wanted, to send this, Koi Love make 2, maybe you want to put some notes here, players, when they watch it, how to defend, that play, or, something along those lines. You can add in notes that way. You can also very easily just click drag and drop to reorder and reorganize. So once I click save there, I can scroll back and you'll see if I add, or if I just scroll over Ariana's tile, she has 3 videos attached there. So very easy, very simple process. But I'm sure that's going to be, a pretty key workflow for you guys there. So for the most part, this is how I want my, template to look. You have all these other options as well. So you can see you scroll into team stats, just the different, options that we have there for you. You can add in different leaders tiles. You can add a depth chart if you'd like, just to fill that out. And you can actually add in your plays to the scout as well. So I only have, 4 pages. I'm going to go ahead and add a 5th for us here. I'm going to go ahead and add just a depth chart real quick so you can see how we pull that information. And you can quickly fill that out based on the active roster. One thing very briefly, and I remember just scrolling over Jayla. Obviously, we don't have a photo for her. So if you do have that photo, on your own, maybe it's from a previous season or she's a transfer, something along those lines, you can very easily click into that photo and upload, an image right from your computer. So you see, I just have, a bunch of, logos here. Maybe if you don't have that logo, you can, or that image, excuse me, of that player, you can just fill it in with a team logo or something, along those lines. You can see just how easy that process is there. But scrolling down to go back to the depth chart here, I'll just fill out my 5 starters, for instance. Let's say that was, their 5. I'm good to go. Last thing I want to add is actually some plays directly from my FastDraw account. So I'm going to add those in here. You'll see this, if you're familiar with FastDraw, it'll look very similar. So I can sort by all of my, last season plays, maybe a couple years ago. So I'm going to go ahead and add in, let's see, obviously these are some older ones. So I'm going to even go back to 17, 18. You can sort by, a specific team if you have that team broken down in there already, just to see kind of, how that populates. So I'll go ahead and add in these couple, maybe these are, some of their like bread and butter plays there. You'll see that'll just kind of load up. So easy enough. I have these 2 frames in, you can see pretty cool. I can switch to, 3 frames per row, make that a little bit smaller. I'll fit that, into one page. Maybe same thing here, keep it consistent. And that looks good to me. So you can easily add video to these plays as well. So again, right from Synergy, if I had video of that play being run, I can quickly, again, use your imagination, but add in that video to that play. And you'll see that'll kind of populate again very quickly there. Save that, and now have that video attached. Awesome. So, everything looks good to me in the scouting report. If you want to print that out, you do have that option as well. It'll print pretty much everything exactly as you see it. So you'll notice, okay, 5 pages. It'll give me this preview, but if you guys do like to print that out, you have that option. I can also, before I even, move on, I can actually attach, this is something brand new for us, which I think is pretty cool. I can attach a full video to the entire scout, as opposed to maybe just an individual player or a play. Maybe I have a practice clip or something that I want to attach. I can do that here as well. You can attach a full playbook right from your, FastDraw account. So I'll attach that playbook there. And then along with that, if you have any maybe like PDFs or anything, maybe you track like an outside analytics report, you can attach that as a PDF as well. So I'll just attach that one playbook for us here. I'll close that. I'll click done since I'm ready to go. From here, I want us to go ahead and send this to my players on the FastDraw, or the FastScout mobile app. So to do that, all you got to do is hit this phone icon, and I'll select, again, I'm the only user here. I'm going to go ahead and save that. Have my phone up here. Apologies. You'll notice I have that FastScout icon in the top left. Just got that push notification already. Pretty awesome. That I have a new scouting report available. So I'm going to click in. I'm just going to swipe down to refresh that, and you'll see that new Vanguard Lions game already in my my FastScout account here. So I can click in here very easily. I can see, offensive keys. You'll remember I just typed in, 1, 2 very easily. I have a team box score where I can, scroll through. Remember, I added steals and blocks. I have points at the beginning, and so forth there. I can click into my top scores. You'll notice we also have, next to Ariana's tile, I have that little play icon, or the overlapping play icons. That just signifies that there's actually video attached to her tile. So I can click in there, see her stats, and I can actually watch the videos, which, remember, I changed that one to title and notes just to make it pretty obvious, but I can click in and watch those videos right from that page. So easy enough here. I can make that full screen. Don't want to do that for you on the phone, but I can play that at half speed, 2 times speed, or just regular speed there. Yep, so pretty pretty straightforward process from that aspect. I have my depth chart. Oops, excuse me. My depth chart, and then those plays. Here I can click into each frame. I can, pinch and zoom if that's a little small for me. And again, I can watch that video, see, maybe I studied those frames one by one, then I can go ahead and watch that video of that play being run. Oops, last thing, remember I attached that playbook. So you can see that kind of PDF there. I apologize if there's not too much information actually in that PDF. That's my fault. But you can see just how that would look. If I go ahead, I can maybe go back in real quick so you can see what that looks like. Just add a full attachment for you. Just add a couple here. And now you'll see, okay, great. I have, a few playbooks. I can click into these, view these as a PDF, as a full playbook of maybe their top plays. If you want to, avoid adding the individual play frames, you can add that as a full playbook right from FastDraw. So the last few things, just want to make sure you're aware of. So we do have individual plays, playbooks, and videos tiles, which you may have seen on the mobile app. So you can see if I get back out of this scout at the bottom, kind of mirrors what we have on the website here. So plays, playbooks, and videos. So you can see my same list of FastDraw plays, but maybe, we're not running a scouting report or we don't have a game coming up. I just want to send these players, maybe during the off season for them to make sure they're aware of, study the playbook at home. So easy enough, I can, again, sort by those same filters, and I can, send these plays to my players individually. So see, I already have 5 sent just with that phone icon, but I can easily click mobile access here, check off a couple more, manage access, and send that to my team as well. So from here, I can, again, just scroll over to that plays tab, swipe down to refresh. And you'll see I have those 8 plays in there. Some of them with that little play icon to the right already have video attached. So I can click in and watch that from this page as well. So just a different workflow for you. Again, maybe it's outside of a scouting report. You can also do the same thing for playbooks. The same playbooks you saw, if I want to send those to my team, I can send those using that mobile access icon as well on an individual basis. You can add video here, attach that to that playbook. And then finally, we have a standalone videos tab where I can go ahead. Maybe you want to add in, off-season practice, practice clips, off-season drills for your players to do, at home. This was obviously very relevant during, COVID. But you do have, a lot of flexibility, a lot of user friendliness, a lot of different ways we've seen teams, utilize the features that we give them. So just want to make sure, like I said, you guys are aware of everything that we do offer for you. And again, that'll mirror the same thing right on that mobile app. So you can, view all that stuff on the go, on the fly, as opposed to, only being on your computer. For the most part, yeah, that kind of covers it. Like I said, try to keep it, around a half hour for you. Don't need to keep you guys too long. But I'll stick around, for any questions. I know I've, used this product for a couple of years, think it's absolutely great. But if you guys have any questions for me, usability, generating stats, customizing things, I'll stick around just for, 5-10 minutes or so. Feel free to ask away. And thanks again. Hope you enjoyed it, and good luck with the upcoming season. Yep. So someone just asked if FastDraw and FastScout are separate purchases. With our collegiate bundle, whether you are, from NAIA or USports, they'll actually come together. So yeah, if you do purchase that bundle, it comes with access to FastDraw and FastScout for, pretty much all your coaches, and then mobile access for your players as well. So you can share all of those scouts, plays, playbooks, videos with them as well.